If you're looking to dig up a gem from early American indie film history, you got to check out Lianna, 1983. This one's written and directed by John Sayles. Yeah, the same guy who helped shape the indie movie scene back in the 80s. What sets Lianna apart? It quietly breaks ground by diving deep into the story of a woman figuring out her sexuality, at a time when most movies wouldn't dare touch the subject, let alone do it with this much honesty. What's it about? So here's the deal. Lianna is living that perfect on the surface but totally empty inside kind of suburban life in New Jersey. She's married to Dick, yeah, that's really his name, and he's basically an egotistical college professor. Feeling stuck, Lianna signs up for a class, and that's where she meets Ruth, her super intriguing teacher. The more time they spend together, the more Lianna realizes her feelings for Ruth are the real deal. Their connection turns romantic, throwing Lianna's life into chaos as her marriage, friendships, and self-image all get shaken up. Once the affair gets out and Ruth pulls back, Lianna is left to wrestle with her new identity, totally on her own. The ending? It's not all neatly tied up, but it's hopeful. Lianna heads off into the unknown by herself, changed, independent, and, most importantly, not afraid to be who she is. What's it really about? The film digs into a bunch of real and relatable stuff. Coming out. It's all about Lianna's journey to understand and accept her sexuality. Feminism. This is also a story about finding your voice as a woman, especially when society and your husband wants you to play a certain role. Loneliness. Living your truth isn't always easy. Sayles really shows what it costs to be authentic. Messy emotions. The relationships in this movie are complicated. People make mistakes, hurt each other, and aren't always at their best, just like real life. Style vibes. Sayles keeps it simple and real, nothing flashy or over the top. The focus is on the characters, their conversations, and their everyday lives. The movie feels super intimate, thanks to its realistic camera work and performances. Basically, it's more about feelings and people than dramatic twists or big Hollywood moments. Like his other early movies, think Return of the Secaucus, Seven, Sayles pulls off that low-budget, deeply personal vibe, telling stories that stick with you. Why it matters. Lianna didn't exactly rake in the box office bucks, but it became a big deal for LGBTQ+ movies. Here's why. It was one of the first American films to show a lesbian relationship as real and complex. Not just taboo or for shock value. Linda Griffiths totally nails it as Lianna. Her performance is subtle and raw. The movie put Sayles on the indie film map and inspired others to tell more honest stories about queer lives. Lianna often gets mentioned along with Desert Hearts as must-see early lesbian movies. To this day, film classes break it down for its importance in queer and indie cinema. What did people think? No official Rotten Tomatoes critics score, hey, it's an oldie, but regular folks who've seen it tend to love it. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. He loved the way it avoided cliches and focused on the people. Janet Maslin from the New York Times called it thoughtful and brave. Cool Facts and Recognition didn't win big awards, but it did get shown at the Berlin International Film Festival. Later, LGBTQ+ Film Fest celebrated it for leading the way in queer storytelling. Fun trivia, John Sayles actually funded this film by writing Hollywood creature features like Alligator and Piranha. Gotta Hustle, shot super quickly on a tiny budget. Sayles' partner, Maggie Renzi, produced the film. Linda Griffiths was mostly known for her work on stage in Canada. This was a rare film role for her. Where can you watch it? Lianna might not be easy to find on the big streaming platforms, but you've got options. Check out Criterion Channel. Sometimes it pops up in their LGBTQ+ selections. Try Canopy if you've got a library card. Physical media lovers, look for DVDs or Blu-ray from Milestone or Kino Lorber. So if you're itching for a heartfelt indie that broke barriers, give Lianna a watch. It's quiet, brave, and still feels fresh decades later. Have you seen Lianna? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to Movies of the 80s for more of the most beloved and forgotten movies of the 1980s.